Very much for joining us today. My name is Sevak Dishoyan. I'm an economic development coordinator with City of Glendale's Economic Development Division. And in today's webinar, we have collaborated with American Savings Financial Services to bring you a wealth of knowledge on the topic of how to take control of your taxes and leverage them for financial growth. But before we get into the main topic, and before I ask our wonderful speaker, Ani Simonian, to introduce herself, I want to talk a little bit about what we do here at Economic Development and how we can help either start or grow your business in Glendale. So our office is all about business retention and expansion. And the way we approach those two goals is through our economic development services. So services such as finding a location for your business, whether it's a new one or it's an expanding one or looking to expand, assisting with permitting process and expediting them for you, connecting you to local, state, and federal level resources, and lastly, help with marketing your business on our different platforms, along with market analysis assistance to make your choices that you're making for your business much better. We also launched a free HR hotline very recently in partnership with California Employers Association, where they can help answer HR questions from basic ones, such as what the minimum wage is, all the way to industry-specific ones. They're available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and they'll be more than happy with taking your call whenever you're ready with those questions. All of the services I mentioned are completely free, and if you would like to take advantage of any of them and utilize them, feel free to contact our office or visit our website at chooseglendaleca.com. I'll leave my information in chat right after this as well. And with all of this being said, please note that this webinar is being recorded, and I will now pass the mic to Ani to get the main portion of the webinar started for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Sevak. I appreciate it. Thank you, City of Glendale. And thank you, everyone, for attending and taking your expensive, valuable time to listen to us. I'm Ani Simonian. I am a mother of three. I am an entrepreneur since 23 years ago. Started and founded American Savings Financial Services out of the mere love of giving back to the community. And been part of philanthropy as almost as long as being part of my financial career, helping people in financing, whether it was purchasing their first home or their business building or business expansion loans or just a piece of advice they needed clarity. So here I am. My intention, my passion, my motivation is really simple, is to really make a difference in the community. Over the 23 years, I have seen many, many challenges, many people misunderstanding, whether it was taxes, whether it was financing, whether it was the stress they had to go through because they didn't have their system, their finances, their books in order. And that caused a lot of challenges in their lives, both in business and in personal. So thank you for attending. Today, we will be talking about we will be switching the slides now. And it's my first webinar, so thank you so very much for being patient with us. We will be talking about a few things. Taking a pride in paying your taxes, importance of filing your taxes, the fear of filing and the impact it does on your business growth, understanding how to read taxes, and the benefits of questioning, the benefits in questioning your accountant, the right questions, of course, the key questions to ask, how to pick your accountant, and relatively a similar formula, a close enough formula of what your taxes need to look like for the lenders to be able to finance you without asking you millions of questions. They'll ask thousands, but won't ask millions. And this is just a phrase, by the way. Don't quote me on the thousands and the millions. We're going to go to the next page. And the next page. So taking pride in paying your taxes. So recently I was going through with my own family, why are we paying taxes? I have three kids and we were going through. And sometimes it's good to remind ourselves the most primitive things. So why do we pay taxes? We pay taxes for very, very clear reasons: the beautiful roads, the beautiful streets, the lighting, as mentioned here, supporting the roads, schools, education in which, as we are seeing the changes that are taking place all the time, specifically this year, more so in different ways, which I'm grateful for. Healthcare, emergency services, defense, as well as, well, let's go back to defense. I mean, the reason we live in such a beautiful country, by the way, I'm an immigrant. So for me, America is a country that has given many, many opportunities, super forever grateful. And so when I see where our tax money goes towards, it makes me feel really confident and good, because as a person, I also contribute towards it. So as you go through, the services we're doing right now is part of the taxes we are paying for. And going through really quickly, reducing inequality, progressive taxes, social programs, helping create more equitable programs in the society, represents our collective contribution to a system that benefits everyone. And of course, all the other important essential things. So next slide, please. So this is just the initial why we pay taxes. Now, why is it important for your taxes to be successful, to file it correctly? Because it makes a difference in your own business profile. So I'm just going to quickly read through the slides and give you my own take on it. So the filing, important to file taxes for success. Now, why is it important for yourself, right? The business owner, the average small business. Taxes organize your financial annual records. This is extremely important. I don't know if you regularly look at your taxes or pre-taxes, look at your bank statements and analyze how many deposits you've had, what were your expenses, and you realize, oh my goodness, why did I spend so much money on this specific thing? I'm sure it's happened to you. When you prepare to file your taxes, the drafts your accountant provides you, some of us are in such an immense rush that we look at the quick numbers, sometimes we don't even look at the gross. We look at the net and we look at the amount of taxes we have to pay. If you can learn to pause and actually look at not only the gross, which is important, but the expenses that were paid, where in the lines of taxes we're reflecting, and have the opportunity to reflect, is this with your banker, to understand if your taxes are going to help you go to the next level this year. It's important to know your goals. So it's really important to know how to keep those taxes, read those and understand it. So going back to that, it reflects your activity. And oftentimes it brings you awareness. Oh my God, I have been overspending on this area, whereas I didn't even have enough funds for marketing. No wonder we didn't grow in sales. So a lot of components to look at, and that's what taxes do actually, if you truly take this process to understand rather than rushing to file so that you don't have penalties and you do your job as a citizen. Credibility. Taxes are extremely important when you want to leverage your business, when you want to go to the next level, both in personal and both in business. When you want to buy your next home, you want to have a passive income when you're older, when you want to expand on your business to be able to go to the next level, again, to expand. The whole point of expansion and success comes from the goals you have, right? What are your goals? Where do you want to be at the end of the day? According to that, that's when you file your taxes. We'll get to the next page and discuss the questions you ask your accountant. So it's extremely important to file your taxes in a way that's not reflecting a loss. I know you don't like paying taxes. Many people don't. It's normal. It's something we have to pay, and it's challenging enough to be able to run the business and the expenses. However, trust me when I tell you, when you do your filing of your taxes in a right way, you have so much more leverage to focus on your growth of your business. So on the second notion of that, it also reflects on your personal and business credibility, which can attract investors, clients, ultimately contribute to success and expansion of your business. So further in this section, we'll go through the leverages in detail. Something from, of course, the quote I left, make a fortune that Warren Buffett way using OPM, other people's money. This is how many people become super successful, not using their money, but using banking, funding, paying the interest, but focusing on the next level. Let's change the slide and we'll go to very important topic, guys. Very important topic. Fear, fear. Fear drives many of us in every level, sometimes in a good direction, but for the most time in the complete opposite direction. At least this is my opinion, and this has been my observation in my career as well as in my personal life and the people I've been around with. So the fear of filing and the impact of the business growth. Fear limits you to live in a shadow of your potential rather than embracing the full potential of your growth. So I'll give you an example of my own specific business. A couple years ago, out of the fear, prior to those years, I was very hesitant in the expenses that I was doing, as well as the taxes that I was filing, so that I can afford to be able to pay so I can make it. Well, where's that coming from? That's coming from fear. Most of us have it. I had to change my mindset and put that thought, that worry, that concern of where am I going to come up? How am I going to manage to pay? I switched it to how am I going to bring more clients? How am I going to make more phone calls? How creative can I get to go to this level, the higher level, the level that I haven't been yet? Switch of mindset. Is it comfortable? Absolutely not. Is it scary? Absolutely yes. However, the minute you're able to switch on how much money I can make, how can I make that money? Who do I gotta call? How do I get to do this? The energy shifts within you. And with the energy shift, what happens is you start focusing on the potential of your growth. So you're facing your fear. This is my wish for you all, to face your fear and go to the next level. So therefore, with the fear, clearly you stay back, you're scared, you're not going to be able to afford it, you got to be able to pay the taxes. How am I going to be able to do it? What if I can't afford it? What's going to happen? Da, 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 da. Stories and stories versus breaking fear. It's this energy we're using, right? I'm using my brain energy. You're listening, you're using brain energy. So why are we putting this energy into the fear factor instead of the factor of how do I get business? Who do I call? And these are all, I am sure all of us have been through in stages where even making that phone call to bring business, calling up that person that you haven't done in a while, whether it's a partner, whether it's a vendor, it's scary. You don't know how they'll respond to you, how they'll judge you. Does it matter? You got a goal to reach. So this is where it all starts. Let's change the slide. So, excuse me. I want you to, by the way, if anybody has any questions, please, you're more than welcome to write it down, and I will do my best to answer at the end of our webinar, as well as if you need more in-depth answers, you can leave your phone number. I'll be more than glad to respond to you after our webinar. So when you file your taxes, there's things I want you to review and look at. Ask your accountant. And I'm going to go through. So I've highlighted a bunch of things. You're probably thinking she's highlighted the entire page. Well, you'd be surprised how many taxes I've seen in the past that there was so many mistakes on because the business owner didn't have enough time, wasn't putting 100% effort to review the pages, and he was missed. And then when you go to get a loan, that's when you realize that because of that one mistake, for example, the date incorporated, if you look at section E on this page, on the 1120S, 1120S is the business S corporation. It's a corporation business taxes. If your accountant misses it, and if you don't catch it, you miss it, and the incorporation date shows incorrect, excuse me, incorrect, and you're getting a loan, whether residential or commercial or business loan, that may have an impact on your approval. This has nothing to do in paying taxes. This has to do with the wrong date, and the wrong date could show lesser history than what you actually have. If you go through, I'll go through very quickly. The name on the business needs to be done correctly. I've seen countless errors there. I'm going to go through my page. The tax ID number has had mistakes. The gross revenues have been correct, but the rental income a rental expense has not been showing correctly. If you look at line 14, depreciation, line 14, depreciation. Do you know how important depreciation is? Depreciation is an expense that gets added back to your final bottom line income, which is the bottom income, which is the ordinary business income, which is line 22. It gets added back to that. That means if you bought a certain product that you've spent $50,000 on, it's a one-time expense, and that gets back added. So if you have $30,000 then as your net income, and you have $50,000 you've used as an expense, that your income annually may not be showing, meaning you will not be paying taxes for 80,000, but you will be receiving income in the underwriting's eyes for 80,000. These are details that you need to know as a business owner. The rent, the amount of rent you pay is extremely important to reflect, because when you're out there wanting to buy your business, your business with a property, with the rent, with the income, that will be the cash flow we can use to qualify you. We're going to flip the page. And by the way, this is just basic information. I'm always available for you guys should you need to reach me. We went to the personal taxes. The personal taxes, also very important. You'd be surprised how many taxes I've looked at in the past that has the primary address incorrect, which is home address, that has the dependents incorrect, if they have dependents or not, that have dependents showing, but the kids have graduated from their universities and live on their own, but it's still showing dependents. Because again, we have been so busy, we have not had the opportunity to actually go through and review our own taxes. Oftentimes, the income calculation needs to truly be looked at to make sure whether the K-1 is done correctly, the transferring of the Schedule C has been done correctly. Thank you, Anna. Appreciate it. We're going to be going to the next slide. So this is 1040. 1040, by the way, I'm not an accountant. I have years of experience in taxes because I do a lot of loans, you can imagine. So I'd like to make sure I get you guys set right so that we can go further with more of a successful future for you. Understanding your taxes. Now we're going to Schedule C. A lot of times, a lot of businesses are not corporations. They're DBA, doing business as, right, with a business license. They usually use the Schedule C income. Again, it's extremely important to reflect the rent, the expenses, the depreciations, the years in the business address must be correct, the name must be correct. You'd be surprised how many mistakes we found. These are primitive stuff, guys. But the reason these primitive mistakes happen so often is because we as business owners don't have time to pay attention to this important few minutes. Not necessarily don't have time, dealing with our challenges and anxieties and fears, I could say. Let's flip the page. Schedule E is also another, I'm waiting for Anna to flip the page. Schedule E, which we'll be going to next. Well, until Anna comes back. There you go. So Schedule E is also very important. Even if you have an LLC on your properties, we need to make sure those goes in a separate place. It needs to be filed appropriately in your taxes. But even when you look at Schedule E on the rental, and you see that, I'll give you a prime example. If you look at line A, which would be the property address of the property, the type of the property it is, the fair rental days. Do you know how many accountants and how many clients miss the fair rental dates? And because of the missing the dates, incorrect dates, they don't get the actual rental income that they could use in lending because they did not observe these details. So keep that in mind. Now we're switching the slide again. So key questions. Okay, guys, this is where I'm going to concentrate more for us to focus on. Before you go to your accountant, it's extremely important for you to know, what do you want? You want to expand your business? Do you want to buy a single family residence this year? Do you want to buy a location for your business? Do you want to expand your employees? You want to add more people? Do you want to put a budget for marketing? What is it that you want? So the reason that's so important is because if you know what you want, then you can go to your accountant and say, this is what I want. I want to be able to get a place for my business. Instead of paying $8,000 rent, I want to have my own space. This is what I'm looking for. And then based on that, your accountant will ask you a series of questions. How much are you willing to pay? How much rent are you paying? Of course, they know that because they look at your bank statements, they look at your monthly records, and they understand that. So comes to a very important question. How do you choose your accountant? These days, and I'm speaking very candidly, I am having such a challenge of getting a hold of accountants in general. We used to have this challenge with attorneys. Now we're having these challenges with accountants. They are all superbly busy, which is awesome. But the challenge comes in, you need to have someone who matches your character, who can understand you, who can respond to you also, is responsive. If they're not available, they have a team of people that are available that they can respond to you, not just to answer phone calls. Running a small business is a lot of work. Typically, the owners are wearing multiple hats. So the accountant can do a lot to eliminate some of these worries and anxieties. So as I mentioned, choosing the right accountant, accounting, the experience, do they have experience in your industry? Do they know what kind of advice to give you? Understanding the fees is a very important component as well. You want to understand when you go to see your accountant, you know what to expect beyond paying your taxes. How much is it going to cost for him to manage your books on a monthly basis, to write letters for you because your lender needs it, how much they're going to charge, to make profit and loss for you, how much they're going to charge, to file your taxes, how much they're going to charge, to answer your calls, how much they're going to charge. These are very important to have these uncomfortable questions when you go to see your accountant there and then. Seeking proactive advice, inquiries about tax strategies for reducing liabilities, capitalizing on deductions. So seeking valuable advice, I'd like to give you my own version of it. First of all, find out from your accountant what laws have changed. What benefits you? What's to your disadvantage? How can you cater your business where it could still help you with the laws that have changed? Where can you tailor your business that with the changing of the laws can help you benefit your business? We're going to move to the next slide. Important slide. This is the slide. This is the topic that many people ask me all the time when they come to get a loan from me. They ask me, what do I need? How do I qualify? Okay. So in order for you to qualify for a loan, whether it's a business loan, whether it's a residential loan, whether it's a commercial loan, construction loan, you need to have cash flow. What the cash flow is usually the net, the bottom line number that they divide into monthly to see if you will qualify for the payments of the loan you are going to get. Extremely important. So if you're looking for a loan that's going to be a monthly income of 10,000, a monthly payment of $10,000, and your net income is showing monthly $5,000, you can't expect the bank to fund you. This is very important unless you have a rental income showing that you've been paying $8,000 a month, $7,000 a month, plus the net of $5,000, then the bank will let you borrow the money because they know that you have the ability to pay. It's extremely important. I can't tell you guys enough. Lenders are just like people, like they're people. They're like you and me. Would you lend your money to somebody who does not keep their records correctly? Will you lend to somebody who can't afford to keep their current lifestyle going? Lenders look at it just like that. That's why it's extremely important for you to file your taxes the right way and pay your taxes, because by paying your taxes, you're opening up doors to opportunities that you can focus on your success rather than how to manage to pay your bills only. We're going to be changing the slide. So in conclusion, I just want to tell you guys, I'm super grateful for being here with you guys. I chose to be part of this beautiful journey with the city of Glendale because, first of all, I've been part of the city of Glendale for many years. I have seen what city of Glendale can do for people, including myself, and my community matters. You matter, our community matters. So I want to be able to be an impact, be there for you guys. And whatever it is that I can help through the process, I'm a phone call away. American Savings has been in the business for 23 years, my staff. So we are grateful for you. If there's any questions you guys have, I'd be more than glad to answer. Thank you.
Okay, we're just going to give it a couple more seconds to see if anyone has any questions. Drop it in chat, please, so Ani can answer them. If not, if you feel more comfortable to have this conversation in a more private setting, you can directly either contact Ani or you can also contact us and we will connect you to her as well. So let's see if there's anything in chat. Kadim, I see you raise your hand. Can you put your question in chat, please? Okay, it seems like we can't see your chat, Kadim. Again, if you feel more
And he,
comfortable, he wouldn't be able to speak within the webinar. It's only a chat function that's available right now. But again, you can email us directly and we will connect you to Ani if you prefer it that way. So first of all, I want to thank you, Ani, again for providing us with your time, insight, and knowledge on today's topic. We highly appreciate you collaborating with us on this webinar. To our attendees, thank you very much again for joining our webinar. We hope you found this session valuable and inspiring. There is a QR code if we move to the next slide. This is very, very important both for us and you as an attendee because it's, first of all, it's a very short survey that will let us know how we did today. And most importantly, it'll let us know what kind of topics you'd like to see in the future for us to cover. So if you have a minute, please go ahead and take this survey. If not, again, we'll send a follow-up email if you prefer to spend a bit more time on it and reflect back on the webinar. Last item I will leave everyone with is an invitation to our small business summit on May 1st. So it's just in a couple of days on Thursday at the Embassy Suites from 2 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. It's a one-day event designed to empower entrepreneurs, business owners, and professionals with the tools, strategies, and connections needed to unlock growth, innovation, and opportunity. There will be 40 different exhibitors at the event offering several resources from all sorts of industries. There will also be breakout sessions covering different topics, networking opportunities, and of course, a celebration portion to end the event with. I see Kadim's question came through chat. He's asking, I'm trying to be a philanthropist. Is there any way I could receive mentoring?
I can give you a few, I guess, advices, suggestions. Start with what you're passionate about. Go within your heart, see what really drives you. What are you passionate about? Where do you want to give? Is it children? Is it elderly? Is it could be a million reasons, right? And then after that, look for organizations around your community and see what they're offering. Go meet them, go understand them. Also meet the president if you can, or the person that's really anchoring the heart of the philanthropy, and get to see who that person is. Is that something that you want to, the person that you want to learn from, or is it someone that doesn't really speak with your heart? And you'll be guided. Philanthropy is a very guided kind of a thing, and I acknowledge and I'm grateful that you want to grow in philanthropy. Philanthropy is a beautiful thing to do. Thank you. I
And
hope that helped.
thank you, Ani. And Kadim, always remember us as well. If starting a business is part of this journey, you're more than welcome to visit our office. I'm again one phone call away, one email away. The follow-up email should outline our services much better. That way you can see exactly how we can help with your journey to start a business in Glendale. I also threw the link to our small business summit in chat. So if you'd like to take a look at the more specific details, you can go ahead and do that. But with all of that being said, thank you again, everyone, for tuning in, and I hope to see you at our next webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. God bless you all. Thank you.